I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Gold magic is heavy and dense, sinking into the ground where it is attracted to metallic ores, especially gold. Gold wizards are naturally inclined towards that metal, and dedicate their lives to it. They aspire to the secret of true, permanent transmutation, the changing of base metal into gold. The College of the Gold Order itself is a very wealthy one. They draw many wealthy investors who too would like to know the secret of transmutation and would like a share in the profits. Even the Emperor himself is a sponsor of this order. Their wizards are called alchemists. Through alchemy, they have a wide spread of knowledge, from creating potions to even animating mechanical creatures, giving them a wide berth of potential skills to draw from. Much like Gelt, the gold wizards are often dressed in ostentatious robes with intricate, filigreed designs, weighed down by amulets and charms. Despite their lavish exterior, the college itself is a hive of innovation and attracts some of the brightest minds in the world to it. They must show knowledge and expertise in several disciplines if they're to advance in the field of alchemy. Now we are to meet the Stein Guards Pride, a historic unit stationed in the small town of Stein Guard during Gorbad Ironclaw's invasion. This company served with distinction in the war by performing hit-and-run tactics against the many hordes that had splintered off from the main Wa. Even when outmatched by trolls and Arachnarok spiders, their speed and precise aim saw them through. In the 800 years that have since passed, the descendants of those original riders still maintain their standards, refusing to adjust to a cosmopolitan life or move on to a new occupation. These Sollanders joined Gelt, hoping to kill off all greenskins that plagued the Empire. Now we begin our battle at Fort Sol. Another attack has come. Commander Rudy will never have a break from what's happening here. We're back at Fort Sol. It's time to handle not a savage orc horde, but the Crooked Moon tribe. They're coming. This time, we're not going to defend the outer walls. Let them come onto the walls, that way we have a clear platform from where we can hit them from. Let's have a look at our formation right now. It's over here. We've got all of our artillery up on its final platform. 2 mortars, 1 cannon. All 4 groups of crossbows right over here, defending Imperial graves where men may lie and rest. Back here's where we have our knights. It's about to be a fairly intense fight. Halberds, swordsmen, and greatswords all protecting the lower area, the lower platform. Let's have a look at what they have right now. Many goblin units. Back here they have a rock lobber. Rock lobbers can be quite dangerous, and now it's time for artillery to strike right through their lands over here. And here they come. You have to imagine that Commander Rudy has become something of an expert. If you need someone to talk to when it comes to the killing of orcs or greenskins in general, he's your guy to call. He'll tell you how to decapitate one. He'll tell you how to break one down. He's over here fighting, and I'll tell you why. Goblins will strike at anything that comes at them. So why would he be over here? They have a rock lobber. Maybe we can draw some of their fire away, though it does damage him quite a bit. That idea was changed quickly. Now he's going back. That's one group of dead goblins, but look at how many are trying to charge in together. That means that we just have a concentrated location from where we can bomb them all from. Much like that, much like that. It doesn't really matter what you have, you better be pretty darn tough. And so it's why these forts are by far one of the most incredible locations to defend from. They certainly did think about how they could benefit you as a defender. If you had multiple stacks, really the biggest issue would be ammunition. Eventually you would run out. I know I have before. They're just moving around right now trying to get their numbers together, but we're not giving them a chance to do so. Let's have a look out here again. They have one leader that's moving towards us. An orc war boss. Fighting with a bunch of goblins, huh? Bold move there, Captain. He's running around, potentially getting ready to flank our army on his own. Now, he believes that he's able to crump, that he's by far the biggest and toughest. So maybe he believes he's able to do that. We still have more goblins on the walls, too. Ah, stalkers. They're coming in. A deadly group. But where the artillery does not kill them, the bolts will. Like that one right there. Very much dead. And there's only a few more to go after that, right? Now there's thousands more. They're just choosing to wait for a minute. Usually we don't have a battle where they spell it out for you so exactly, but here's our beginning. And let me tell you, we're about to have essentially more consistent battles than I've ever had in any type of campaign. Our claim to rebuild Solland is an interesting one, and there's about to be quite a large variety of events happening that are trying to prevent that. Here they come, heading right after Captain Rudy. Waist deep in water, shoulder deep for the goblins. More bolts raining on them. Here comes another group. My god, the damage they've already taken. So let's have a brief overview because we always like to do that. A mortar 165, my great cannon 241, my other mortar 194 and going up to 202, my crossbows 90, 54, and 67 kills. Over here we have a group at only 23. They had a hard time seeing due to line of sight. They haven't gotten to my main force yet. We could see over here that 2 units are now moving to address that issue of the orc and goblin. These are great swords. They could certainly mess up an enemy leader. You might be able to damage them, you might be able to kill, whatever you want, but they're going to hurt you. They're going to put the smack on you. Smack down. Back over to the front lines again. They're unable to organize. Imagine that you're trying to get ready for one final push and you need all of your peers to come join you to help you in that push to kill as many enemies as you can. But you're being hit by bolts constantly. You're being hit by mortar shells constantly. You're being ruptured before you can do anything. You can see the shells falling now, whistling through the sky, landing right down here. There's just blood everywhere. Goblin blood. We'll be cleaning that out of the ground for weeks. A lot of them are now beginning to flee. They're now done. They can't fight here anymore. It's not permitted. And so the goblin leaves again. Look at that one group of night goblins trying to advance upwards. One day we'll have a true threat here. Or maybe we won't. It doesn't even really matter. It's just one fort. One impassable fort where they can try to leave as much as they want. But again, when you have a great cannon that has a direct line of sight on the gate, imagine fighting lizardmen, chaos, whatever that you can really think of. We get such a stark advantage with only our garrison, and I love it so much because if we didn't have Fort Sol, our fate would be spelled out. It's one thing for me to fight all the enemies that I have fought, but to not be able to defend one pass, it's awful. I couldn't imagine it. And so they're running. Now what about that greenskin who is over here? It looks like we finally have a battle. He's charged in. He's now fighting my great swords. Look at him. The mad orc. The crazy lad. Just fighting all his great swords alone. It probably won't go the way that he wants it to. The way that he's imagining. Let's have a look already. Look at that. No. You see, and closer to Tabletop, you can't just solo entire armies like that willy-nilly. Maybe at a later level, but early on, you can't really do that at all. Here they come. They finally mustered up enough for a charge, only after losing so many. Now, what's good for me to note here, that I might not have seen before, is that there is some measure of friendly fire, so in the future I will control the volleys and ensure that we're not having as much friendly fire, so that actually did more damage to them than the goblins did. Good to know. I didn't realize that their arcs would be so poor. Now they're fleeing. Artillery's still going. It never does end. My god, you're just watching goblin parts explode everywhere. And now they've broken. I didn't have to really show you too much over the entire map because that entire battle was focused in one general area. We're chasing after that orc war boss, but he killed what, 12? Very nice. Our artillery, how many did they kill? 405, 374, and 399, 128. For these crossbows, 157 and 127. These back here at 77. I mean, hundreds slaughtered. You could see the Goblin Road here. We could even call it that. It would be a joke because of how many died here. But the battle's now over, and we may leave. Our knights are going to go chase down a few more goblins just to make sure that there's a few less to worry about. I mean, even as they're leaving, they're being hit by mortars. What a way to go. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. We've had a decisive victory. Great Bit's Bone Crusher came by. It's actually pretty fortuitous that we had to deal with him right over here. Rudy's becoming somewhat of an expert orc killer. He's very good at it. He's fought many battles now. Imagine if we didn't have that one location to help us defend. They would be able to come right to Fildorf. Solland would be in trouble. We're not going to recreate our issues that Solland once had, where they were completely destroyed by an orc invasion. No, we're going to be rebuilt, and we're going to make sure that everyone is able to thrive here. Not only that, we're going to be guardians of a past for the Empire. Through our blood, sweat, and tears, we'll be able to keep the rest of the Empire safe. At least over here. Here's our little corner. Our little neck of the woods. It looks like right now that no one is bothering to defend Grimhold. We have looters. Our armies consist of noble state troops, and yet they act like a horde of free company. They loot and pillage across the countryside. Something must be done. Okay, War Plunder would give me more money. War Fervor would give me more leadership. We'll do that. Averlin demands region, Grinstad. Historically, the region of Grinstad has been ruled over by Averlin, but is currently under the control of the Elector Count of another state. Marius Leitdorf, the rightful Elector Count of Averlin, has asked for your help in restoring his rule over this land immediately. Okay, if I allow expansion, Averlin will be angered. If I demand its return, let's see here, Stirland will be angry. Well, Averlin is pretty close to me. Here. We shall demand that return. My authority is currently at 4. It's very, very good. Now, Averlin, one day you'll belong to me, but I'm not going to tell you that yet, only because you have a lot of lands I want. We did complete our Imperial University. We do have the Supreme Patriarch. Naturally, we're going to focus on academics, at least a little bit. We need to consider what else would be quite handy for us to have right now. Improving whatever we have for income sounds great to me. I would like to save up down here for a few diplomatic research cores, only because if I pick these up early on, we'll have more public order, other factions will like me more, it'll all work out for me very, very well. But for now, why don't we come over here to work on our state troops? As regiments gain renown, their standards become talismans that are just as important as their sword arms. We'll get 5% more speed and plus 5 to leadership as well. We've been fighting a lot of battles and we could use some love and help. Hello, Clan Angren. You're on your way. Very good. Alright, we have another settlement building that we can upgrade. Okay, that should really be it. My only location is Solland and over here, the Black Mountains. The Black Mountains are still unhappy. Solland, if I upgrade you now, you'll be able to have your city watch. Very true, but I would like to get a new building location, a new slot to build in. So we'll build up a town over here in Hornhold. We now have a proper human name for that location. Okay, Gelt, it's time to come over here to Grimhold. Sure, they have a big garrison. What we need to find out right now is, can we just wait for one turn? If we can wait for one turn, we can have 2 siege towers. That will help out our campaign. If we can't wait, we'll go in right now. No, that orc will be able to make it over here. You're right, Gelt. You will be. How many battles did it take just for Gelt to get here, to Grimhold? Now, our army's on the way. Let's have a look at what they have. Many goblins, naturally. We're at a beautiful dwarf hold that has been corrupted, but we will make it right. Every single stain here will be cleaned up. Every goblin will be expunged. Pretty soon, we're going to have more mountain holds. The dwarves might want them back, but surely they do not have the numbers to man these locations. So we do, and we will. Look at that. They just have little hovels everywhere. Who knows what they've been doing here? Disgusting creatures, and we're only looking around right now because pretty soon we're going back into the battle. Oh, imagine trying to defend here. If you brought in a couple of mortars, you could easily destroy any foe. They've broken down statues. And again, they're all just waiting here in one location. Let's have a look at our formation. Our archers and friends are getting together. We have one mortar, and naturally Gelt. Gelt will be moving in very soon. His spells are about to rupture all of their ranks. Now in the very beginning, our goal is to eliminate any type of ranged unit they have. If we do that early on, we can advance and take their walls. Now Gelt is moving into position. More spells are about to be thrown at our enemies. One Searing Doom, breaking through their formation. They've already been weakened by a mortar attack. And we have more ranged attacks coming in too. Because we're trying to hit any goblins near their front gate, any stray shells will help us break their front gate potentially. Here it comes now, the Golden Hounds of Gehenna. Killing potentially over 100 goblins. It's a very effective spell. And again, Gelt is able to use another Searing Doom. In the very beginning, Gelt was not really mustering up that many kills. Now he's at 163. The front gates are destroyed. They have more goblins on the walls, but we still have more that we can do. The Drakewald Trackers, they're moving up. The Gottwald Wardens, they're moving up too. And you can hear again that my mortar is sounding off. They're getting a few kills every single time. And now it's time for some more magic, more Golden Hounds. Bursting through the ground, their body, well, it doesn't really matter too much. Their bodies are not going to be here for long. They're going to be turned into lead. Or melted. Gelt can do whatever he wants to. He's at over 200 kills now. Normally, I would like to charge in and go crazy, right? But if you have the tactical tools in place to eliminate your foe, to get rid of any type of structural advantage they have, you should use it. Especially when you know that reinforcements might be difficult to obtain. Our replenishment will not be nearly as fast up here. And I have other battles to fight too. So if we can maintain our strength, if we can keep on killing what they have, then we can move on to future threats. If I don't do that, we'll have to be here for quite some time in order to heal up. There's another Searing Doom. It's why I like to maximize my early game spells when possible. Because then they're cheaper, they're faster to cast. Instead of just having some, useless spells, I like to make use of what I have. Now Gelt has over 200 kills. Our ranged units do not have a lot of kills. The Wardens have more than my archers. But we've already taken out many of their defenders on the walls. If we look at their numbers right now, they still have 1,600. We now outnumber them. Back here, they have many riders, spider riders, wolf goblin riders, a lot of stuff. Or goblin wolf riders. Oh man, if the wolves were riding the goblins, I'd have to leave. That'd be a little bit too weird. Now they're waiting for the big attack. That means I get to send up some infantry very soon because we're pretty much out of arrows. Usually I have my units leave the map whenever they're out of their arrows or bolts. Even my artillery gets to leave the map too. It's a little bit less clutter for me to look at. They're being led by one goblin big boss. Now let's get ready for phase 2. Phase 2 involves sending in swordsmen to take the walls. We have 4 phases total. We're at number 2. We've gone to Sieghelm's veterans and the Golden Line, all moving up to fight them. Once they're up here, we can let them charge on down and flank our enemies. Our spears will move through the front gate. Unfortunately, they do tire out whenever they have to climb the ladders, but that's alright as well. More goblins will be moving up. What really took me off guard about the battle is how desperate these goblins were. They'll fight till the very last. I mean, whenever they're cornered, you don't want to fight them. They won't break, not easily. But there's all of our swordsmen now, attempting to take the walls. Thankfully, Gelt was able to deal so much damage. So now that we have that happening, we need to bring in all of our mini spearmen. It'll take time, but once we take those walls, we can move in. We can move in and finally kill these trolls. Trolls are deadly nearly no matter what. They have a goblin big boss too. He's a large fellow. Not tall, but large. Gelt is at 231 kills. I wonder if we could get many more. We still have a few shells left from our mortar, the glittering gold boys. Over 400 kills by that one group. Our veterans are at 31 kills. They've been fighting on the walls. Here comes more goblins now. They're all converging in one general area, meaning that Gelt has seen an opportune time to strike again. A searing doom. But not only that, the Golden Hounds of Gehenna. Absolute fear and terror. These goblins lost so many more of their units. Gelt has killed how many now? 318. It's incredible. Whenever you master your basics when it comes to spellcasting, what you can do. I used to try to get every new spell that I could as quickly as possible. Now, I maximize what I have. And you can see the effects are huge. They can change up an entire battle, especially because I am fighting Night Goblins and Standard Goblins too. So Searing Doom is quite effective. Once you break down that initial buffer of health before they begin to lose individual units, then man, they begin to drop really fast. A few of them are now fleeing and breaking out. Phase 3, time to charge in. Phase 4 will just be us trying to maintain our holding on the interior. Even though we're very close, the biggest issue is that they will charge in. And when they charge in, they will score kills. Let's head back now. And trolls are no joke. There's two groups of them over here. Trying to move units through a gate is an issue. In the future, I may get more of my anti-large units to also climb up onto the walls so that all of them can move around these trolls, because over here is where they're unable to use the full power of their numbers. Just trying to squeeze through somehow. But let's get ready now for the last part that we really need to focus on. The interior. It's a basic spell, sure, but it does some damage to them. Just a little bit. Let's see what they have coming up. Goblin Archers. If they have Goblin Archers, we need to go fight then. Gelt is at 351 kills. We have trolls to worry about. Our spears are now moving in. The first company of the Solland's Braves, they come to fight. They have no shields at all. Let's have a look at what spells Gelt is casting now. A transmutation of lead. They only have 2 melee attack, and their weapon damage or strength has gone down. Our veterans are now moving down to attack too, helping to fight these trolls, helping our spearmen out. And it's about time to use some glittering robes on the Solland's Braves. These archers could certainly score some kills if they wanted to. They've got plenty. But there we are. Now we have plus 60 to our armor. 101 armor total, allowing them to fight here for a period of time without losing too many, at least in the very beginning. But again, trolls are strong. Trolls are not easy to deal with. I mean, these are just a bunch of thugs here, a bunch of brutes, punks even. They kick, they puke, and they club. Look at that. Even though we have anti-large, there's still parts of my men that are getting torn to shreds. It's not an easy endeavor to take on these massive regenerative creatures. They're putrid. They're awful. The Amber Trance and Plague of Rust is being used, getting rid of their armor and leadership, attempting to break them. Does it work? No. But it was worth a shot. The goblins have minimal kills, 2 right now that I can see. More swordsmen are moving in. Ideally, I would have had some spearmen to move in over here to counter any charge by their forest spider rider goblins, but, you know, not everything can go perfectly. You can plan all you want, but then you make contact with your enemy and it all changes from there. These trolls are very tired. They're at 45 kills, but still fighting. Again, trying to move in is quite challenging. That goblin big boss is still around. You can see how long the siege has been going on, and we're going on 16 minutes now. And I wanted to show you how impactful taking your time can be whenever you're able to dictate the flow of a battle, which you can usually only do in certain types of situations. I'm in one of those right now. It's a siege battle. If I don't have to worry about towers obliterating my entire army, then I can take my time and destroy everything about their formations, about their units, and everything else too. The trolls are still fighting over here. We now have to deal with a bunch of poison debuffing. Let me show you what I mean right over here. They've got only 16 melee attack, but they can reduce a lot of our weapon damage, speed, armor piercing damage, missile damage, just all forms of damage. They weaken us. Look at that. 20 weapon strength for my veterans. Only 20. And they do not have anti-large. Now we get to destroy what's left of these trolls. When Gelt is out of spells, he still has a sword arm. He'll come in and hit a few people. No, we have quite a few battles to play out. 7 battles again. I think we had like what? 7 in parts 1 and 2? That makes for a total of 21 battles in 3 parts. That tells you how incredible it's been to play as Solland. To play as Gelt. Because my god, these enemies do not give up, and oh, that was brutal. I do not appreciate that. These poor men, they're trying so hard to get rid of these trolls. They finally broke, so now they're free of that blight. How many kills are we talking about though? 92 kills. Even though I killed all of those enemies, look at how many they killed still. The big boss is at 13 kills. Elsewhere, we just have more to worry about. The golden line over here, we have forest goblin spider riders still killing. We're 18 minutes in. And these goblins have not been joking around. So what we can do, and it does take time because of how many units we have, we can try to get everyone inside. All of our spears inside. Okay, that leader of theirs is now fleeing, so we can organize our formations again. Gelt has planned out the entire siege. He's a brilliant mind. Intellect does not always translate into battlefield effectiveness, but in the case of Gelt, he's got guile, cunning, battlefield experience. He understands logistics, tactics, strategy, and how it all plays together. It's interwoven, just like a spell that he puts together. When you focus on alchemy, you've got to know a lot about other fields. You need to learn about everything that you can in order to potentially maximize what you can do in alchemy. It's why Golden Order, well, alchemists as they're called, or wizards, they're quite intelligent. They have a wide berth of knowledge that is required. And it was a gritty fight, but we're finally breaking through the rest of these blasted goblins. There's only a handful left. They fought for a very long time. They're at 26 kills. We have one last charge to make. Here we go. Goblin Wolf Riders. Lithe, spindly little creatures. But that's what we need to fight now. No matter how strong you are, being on the receiving end of a quickly delivered spear tip made of bones, I mean, just whatever that you could really think of. Wood, some type of crude rock. it'll still deliver quite the punch. So here comes our units right now. You can see what's coming down. And so quickly, too. That's really the incredible part, is how quickly they hit. That caught me off guard. I haven't fought some Goblin Wolf Riders in a long time, and man, they came down so very quickly. Let's have a look over here. That group that we broke before, they're coming back in to debuff our units. The Golden Line, they're holding the line. These Gilded Warriors are not going to lose today. They're not going to give up. They've got a victory to win. They just have to stay here a bit longer and snatch it from the jaws of defeat. Not that we would be defeated, but again, they're just about making us bleed so that a future Greenskin army can defeat us. Did one even make it out here? They charged in so deep that, yeah, we had another one out here. Thankfully, those were cut down too. Wolf Riders, you can do it. They still have a few left. There's a lot happening. There's some troublesome elements here, but it looks like we're about to win the battle. When they break, there might be a chain rout because there's only 2 units left. Fighting for Grimhold has been tremendous, man. It took a very long time to get here. Oh my god, look at what they did to that Dawi statue. Horrendous. Do not tell them, or they'll want a reckoning. And probably an interior designer to fix all the issues here with the local decor. But we've won the battle now. They're chain breaking. It's over. We have finally taken Grimhold. We've done it, everyone. Gelt has done it. Now that was a battle. That was a challenging battle. We did it. It wasn't really as costly as it could have been. We took our time. We tactically dismembered every portion of their defenses, and we won. Gelt was able to flex his power a bit. He killed nearly 300 greenskins. Now we get to occupy Grimhold. That one orc army that's been damaged, well, they're alone now. One more level, one more rank until Gelt can finally get Quicksilver back. Okay, we can finally get Arcane Conduit as well. Now we can begin to focus on unique abilities for him. He'll get more armor. Later we can provide more armor for our units. And so much more too. It's going to be great. Alright. So while we're here, let's have a look at what I have now. More money coming in. I do like that. Wood Elves, you better leave me alone. I want no part of your business over there. If I have to conquer through Bretonia or wherever, I'll do it. I'll burn you down. I'll turn you to lead. But right now, we are done with our current turn. If I tax you, you'll be quite unhappy. Sure, I'll gain more money, but I don't want a rebellion. I'll need a new army eventually. I can't afford one yet. I don't have the money for that yet, but in time, I will. We have another attack by the Beastmen. They're attacking Averland. Now, I can help them again. Sure, I could do nothing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm here to help them out. If I don't help them out, who knows what they might lose. I've got gold, so we'll send out a military force. Okay, it's another battle where we could potentially lose a lot. They have many Beastmen. Let's go in and fight Ebzuab Bloodhorn. What a name. I'm going to kill him just for having that name. It's another minor battle where we're being isolated. So our swordsmen take up their formation to protect our handgunners if possible. We do have an Archlector here. He probably won't make it. Not in a battle where we're so outnumbered. Let's have a look at what we're facing. How many? 1,200 enemies, sure, but we're all alone over here. Centaurs, raiders, a beast lord, and a Bestigor herd. They have 40 weapon strength, 23 to a charge bonus, and 70 armor. There's only so much that we're able to do. And so there's a charge right now. And over here is where we have our actual reinforcements who are fighting alone. They're fighting a group of Centaurs, but at the very least, they have halberds. These guys over here are pretty darn strong. If you look at them real quick, +8 when fighting large, 12 armor-piercing damage. That's really what we're lacking, is armor-piercing damage. So they'll be fighting on their own while we're being attacked. Here they come. Now that we understand the stakes, We can do our best to kill any Bestigors we can. Though a Beast Lord alone could easily butcher a group of my swordsmen. Look at him go. He's already cutting him down. All of them down. Our Imperial Knights on the left are trying to hold back 2 groups. It's really not going well. Our other Knights are moving around quickly, attempting to go after archers. They have a lot of raiders. Their charges are constant. Here they come now with a new charge. Right from behind. You can see the damage they dealt. I flashed that health bar right beforehand so that you could see the comparison of damage dealt. Over here we have the Archlector chasing after another group. I'm glad you're here, man, but you truly do need time to develop into a monstrous force. Archlectors are, well, holy men. They can do some damage. That Beast Lord is still killing a lot of our units. It's really bad. We have a look at it at 23 kills. My handgunners only have 29. They're just trying to get into a position where they can flank someone and shoot them. It's been a moving battle. These knights are charging in. So the goal for these knights is to knock down that Beast Lord to allow my handgunners a moment to actually shoot, to deliver a volley. Over here, these swordsmen are at 21 kills and they're still fighting, 22 now. Imperial Knights are still moving around. They're at 65 kills. They've done some damage. But those Centaurs are quick. They're at 43 kills. They're very powerful. The Archlector is still fighting at 11 kills, but here comes a group of Bestigors. The goal is to try to shoot them as much as we can. A few have been hit. A few have been killed. But not nearly enough have been killed and hit. Hit and killed. Well, Archlector, you're about to do a great service for our allies. They've won most of their battle. And you're quite welcome for that, Imperials. But again, we were isolated. It's a great way to just generate some favor by sending out a force to go help out. Okay, Archlector, what are we looking at? Only 23 kills. His melee defense is only at what? 32? That's incredibly low. Here comes a group of knights, 17. They've only got 39 kills. And over here is my handgunners at over 60 kills. They've been able to eliminate a group of Gores. These malignant corruption, you know, base fools are not going to be here for much longer. Alright, swordsmen, how many kills? 60? They're still holding on. We still have knights out there charging, trying to get around. They're at 94 kills. Most of our force has been destroyed, but we've dealt some serious damage. We do have some swordsmen left. We've attempted to kill that Beast Lord. It did not work out, did it? No, he's moved in. And there are Ungor Raiders hitting too. That was so close. We nearly managed to kill their leader. Here comes a group of Bestigors. Our knights were broken. They have 39 kills still. Our handgunners are moving back. Swordsmen are charging in. They'll probably break very soon. They barely have anyone left. I should have had these handgunners just run the entire time. They have a speed of 31 though. They would have been caught by even a Bestigor herd who have a speed of 35. These Gores are still chasing after a group of our knights. Our knights have killed over 60. We've taken out a group of Ungor Raiders. And here comes our allies again, being led by an Imperial captain, who's not in a big rush. Not well appreciated, friend. You should have been in a big rush. There's still a few fragmented groups. These crossbowmen alone have killed 61. I wonder if we'll ever get larger groups to defend with. I highly doubt it, but it would have been nice. Oh man, that poor man. At least you were avenged. She was cut down right as they broke that group. So what do we have left? Not much. Our handgunners were broken. We have a group of swordsmen who are advancing, but in terms of what we control, knights. They have 147 kills. So they dealt a lot of damage, taking down their raiders and other units too. His handgunners are done for. They'll be leaving the map. But here comes an enemy attack. There the battle begins. Their Beast Lord is moving in too. He's a quick one, even though he's been fighting for quite some time. We just need to let our knights move around too. They're being hit by a few of their ranged attacks. No, the battle is certainly going to work in the favor of our units. It's just a matter of the fact that we lost nearly our entire force. We just have some knights left. But these knights are not done fighting. 25 left. That's plenty. Plenty to do some damage to a group of beastmen. It looks like they've broken. The battle's over. We tired them out so much and that charge finally got them. But we've done it. We've won the battle. While we were simultaneously helping out another Elector Count, we now have intercepted Greedbit's Bone Crusher. It's time for Gelt to destroy another Greenskin army. Our war continues right now. Another battle in the underway. We have Gelt leading his men into another defensive posture. Over here, an Orc War Boss is charging forward. Mini Goblin Spears and Night Goblin Archers. Night Goblin Archers can do some serious damage. They can take 29 volleys total. They have a missile damage of 19. Their armor is at 5, and their leadership only at 41. Though breaking for a weaker unit can be a good thing. They can get away, then come back later. Thankfully, we do have a mortar. That mortar is going to make quick work of whatever ranged units they have out here. Now they're in trouble. Now they're not going to make it. For what we have, it's a checkered formation. Due to misfiring, we did lose one of our mortars, but that's okay, we have plenty. My Outriders are on the right flank. We have some infantry right behind our main lines. 2 groups of crossbows on the right. All of my archers are to the left. All of my Drakewald trackers. Companies 1 through 4. The Golden Line are behind 2. On the left flank, we have the 2nd Company of Sieghelm's veterans. On the front lines, we've got over here our Solland's shields. Now it's time for all of our ranged attacks to hit their mini Goblin Archers. It's time to use some spells too, I'm sure. They're coming to us, so we just need to fight them. That's a lot of arrows. No matter how tough you are, eventually that's going to break you a little bit. So here they come right now, all charging in. We have a guard mode on every single one of our units. We're currently waiting back here. And now it's time to see them all break. They've been debuffed. Here comes an Orc War Boss. I'm sure there might be some friendly fire. Here's another charge at another group of my infantry. And over here too. A few of them do make it over to my archers, but eventually they turn their attention over to the spearmen. My mortars are still destroying all of our archers. If we keep on looking right now, we can see what magic is being used. Plague of Rust and Transmutation of Lead, weakening the Orc War Boss. Over here on the left flank, we have infantry who are now charging in, flanking these Night Goblins on the left flank. Quickly destroying them and making fast work of their line. Elsewhere, the Golden Guard continues to fight. They're often thrown into tough parts of the battle, only because Gelt knows they're able to handle it. And so they get to fight an Orc War Boss. Gelt had a bit of miscasting going on, but he was able to up their armor by 60, putting up this Golden Guard to 151 armor, allowing them to hold easily. Goblins are still fighting in other portions of our line, but they're all beginning to break now. It's a short battle. It's a very decisive battle, meant to be called quickly. We have fought these orcs over and over and over. It would only make sense that over time, I would become rather proficient at destroying orc. Don't forget about the goblins too. But now they're running, so we get to chase after them as they flee. A quick battle. Unlike our siege battles that we had before, it was a quick battle. And another battle won. Goodbye, Greedbits. Finally, Gelt has Quicksilver. Now he'll be able to move quickly. Evidently, the Crooked Moon again have another greenskin horde under their command. What we're doing right now is very indicative of how the Empire had to deal with threats. When it came to greenskins, I mean, they just came out of nowhere and they would stay for a long time. You kill one, there's like 20 more.
Valuable than gold.
What do you want now? No, I can't help you. There are other factions who hate you, unfortunately for you. I've got to play a political game here. There's a lot of intrigue in the Empire, and we will not lose. Electors go to war again. Now, fortunately, I do have prestige. I can spend it, and we can avoid war between Midland and, of course, Nordland. Stop the war. We've gained the Silver Bullets, a group of handgunners, and the White Wolves, some huntsmen. They're very powerful regiments of renown. Oh, hello, Skarsnik at rank 14, meaning that Skarsnik did not stay at such a low level. Skarsnik will be quite a threat to us because of that. Alright, so right now what we could use is Quicksilver. Gelt has appeared on many battlefields, soaring overhead on his Pegasus. Indeed. We finally have our mount. Now, I'm not going to recruit our new regiments of renown just yet, and I'll tell you why. If I push up to Kroknorn and I've got to fight maybe 2 more battles, I may lose a lot of men. I'll combine what I have left and we can push on. That to me is a pretty good idea. Alright, let's have a look over here at diplomacy. It's been quite some time. Maybe Averlin would finally want to trade. There we go. Now we have more money coming in. Whistleland, you're not a big fan of me, but you're very powerful. You're not really doing too much, are you? Not really, no. I would like to make her fight Reichland. I think that would be amusing. Okay, Skarsnik, you are very powerful, but again, you're fighting many factions. But I believe that we're really the only ones who are fighting them directly. Sure, they have a war going on, but we're the ones who are bleeding all over. And I really want things to be happier in Hornhold, so we're going to build a tap room. And who knows, we'll even get Gotrek and Felix too. Even if I don't let them lead an army, they can follow me into battle. They will help so very much. Okay, so now we're at 5 authorities, so even if I lose 1 or 2 or 3, I'll still have plenty. The higher that goes, the better off I am. Okay. It is indeed time for a new battle. There's not too much more that I'm able to do just yet. We have much to do. Okay, Skarsnik, time for you to die. Gelt again gets to use spells to weaken his enemies. He's flying on Quicksilver. On that Pegasus, he's going to be able to quickly scout things out, and of course damage their lines before they can even reach our own front lines. Skarsnik is leading another army in. He's much more powerful than before. Thankfully we are too. But we know how strong that blasted goblin is. He knows how to harm our lines. He's very good at killing infantry. Gelt, though, is becoming what's called a juggernaut. You can describe someone who's only into academic arts as one. Yeah, that's him. The Golden Hounds of Gehenna, killing many of the Night Goblins nearby, and a Searing Doom. No matter which direction they move in, they're being hit by spells. Let's go back to our own formation. Over here, it's like a gaping maw. They're about to be enveloped by it. So, we have our archers right in the middle. Our Deathjacks, we're looking at our Gottwald Wardens right behind them. All of our archers, the Drakewald Trackers, are to the left flank. One misfiring from our mortar as usual. And the rest of our infantry just kind of defending what we have right now. Outright is right behind them. Gelt is still flying above, doing what he does best. He's at 110 kills so far. The mortars are continuing to land. We're going to destroy Skarsnik's army today. And it's going to be an awesome sight. So here they come now. Sure, they could flank this group, but what if that group was to reform? There's another Searing Doom. Tactically, you now know what I'm up here for. Here, I'm allowing all of my range units to easily attack, while we have a type of angled formation to where they've got to charge in. So here we go now. It's time to up this armor. Now they're at 101. These goblins will easily get struck down. We're being charged at everywhere now. Here they come. They're being hit by many bolts and arrows. There's more over here. There's another attack by Gelt, damaging more of them with a Searing Doom. Again, he's flying overhead. He'll be charging in just a little while. They've charged in now on my lines, attacking my spearmen. These archers have a lot to do. Oh, they've used a very stinky ability here. Tricksy Traps, giving them more speed, stock, and of course unspottable. Not that it really matters right now, but it's a good way to stay hidden. There's a Searing Doom that's killed a lot of goblins who were all bunched up in one general area. So even though they were trying to hit one portion of my line, trying to find a weak point, it wasn't sufficient. Now they're breaking. Many more of them are breaking too. If you compare it to the countless battles we've had before, keep in mind in parts 1 and 2, we had altogether 14 battles. It's a reason why we have such a veteran and powerful army, and why I've become quite good at fighting orcs. And goblins, I keep forgetting about them. I should just say greenskins. That'll cover all of it. Let's have a look at the tactical overview real quick. We can see where I'm being hit at every portion of my formation. My outriders are now moving in. Gelt himself is at 171 kills. He'll be using more spells to weaken our foes and strengthen our own. Those golden robes, man, keeps them going. More goblins are breaking. I mean, they are goblins. It's not like we're fighting chaos warriors. These guys are going to break quickly. These mini range units are continuing to attack. We've got some spearmen who are charging out too, chasing them down. Over here is where we just have a lot of enemies fleeing. My outriders are moving in, chasing after a few greenskins who are moving away. And elsewhere we have Skarsnik, who refuses to break. He's already got 53 kills. For all that I've done, 53 kills. I'll be sure to watch my ranged attacks on our following parts as well to avoid any friendly fire. But it looks like we've won the battle now. It's all over. They get to flee. And we've won. Goodbye, Skarsnik. You've lost again. We won that battle. Though, look at that goblin. He got away again. He's pretty tough, I'm telling you. Alright, well, we'll kill what we can, and we'll destroy them in just a minute. It's about time to follow up and get rid of more of them. We've gained Warrior Bane. It's a good way to debuff enemies' capability to damage you in combat. And we're about to be at a higher level, too. Alright, let's go up. I've already beaten you once, man. Alright, we didn't actually damage all of them that much. The only issue with really fighting them underground is that they can get away easily, which is very thematic and appropriate for a bunch of goblins. Okay, we gotta fight another one because we need to beat his army in order to heal up, then hopefully push on. If we can't push on, that's okay. It's a great way for us to kind of stake our claim in the ground and maybe even get better units. I'm still waiting on getting more money and of course Public Order 2 in order to expand my own lands right now. Our goblin wars never seem to end, but naturally they would want to destroy Solland once again. They did so before. So here's a battle for the ages. We're now fighting a large enemy force. We have all of our infantry just moving in. Normally I don't do that. I've got more complicated formations, but today that's what I did. All of my ranged units on one side. I like to try to practice new types of things, and it might not work out the way that I wanted to, but it's always worth a shot. So now we've got over here some glittering robes upgraded. We've got our mortars hitting, our outriders also attacking right now, and it's time for a very large charge. Everyone is moving in. They just refuse to let up. It's going to be one of those fights again where we've just got to win. We are not allowed to fall. If we falter once, we lose a lot of what we've gained. They have a lot more resources to muster up armies than I do. I've got the one army. If I lose it, I'm out of commission for many turns. If they lose an army, they'll be back up in like 2 or 3 turns. Over here, their archers are bunched up thanks to our good buddy, Gelt. He attempted to go after Skarsnik, but getting a hit on him was rather challenging, but it did allow him to do some damage to their ranged units, and thankfully he was able to get away. But now it's time for a Searing Doom right on top of their archers. Elsewhere, let's have a look. The Golden Guard are attacking. If we look elsewhere too, these many ranged units are moving in. I think there's just too much friendly fire to be had because we're going to lose a lot of our third company of Solland's shields. Quicksilver's still moving. Stein Guards Pride, 10 kills, still weakening that group of night goblins. And over here, we're looking at a transmutation of lead, further weakening these goblins who only have either 0 or 1 melee attack, which gives a great chance for our infantrymen to just fight them and strike them. Gelt over to the right is still casting spells, and he's also attacking archers while we're fighting a massive line of enemy infantry. These spells are constant. If we look all over the map right now, Skarsnik has killed 37. He's at 46 health right now. The goblin just will not give up. We need to get rid of him. He's covered in blood, he's drenched in blood, and he just needs to be hit a couple more times. And finally, he's down. It's like he fell in the mouth of that creature. I think he did. That's really funny. But it looks like after losing their leader, they finally broke, so we get to chase down some goblins today. Let's beat them. Though I feel like a war is brewing elsewhere. Look at the archers continuing to strike them down. They were all over here on the left flank attacking. If we look at their kills real quick, they got quite a few kills, but I just think it's too dangerous. Way too dangerous. We'll have to be mindful not to hit our units. Here's their third. Yeah, they lost a lot. There only has 63 men left. Many were wounded, but we won. The battle's over now. Another battle won. We went all out on them. They keep getting away. I mean, we did manage to kill over 1,300. Okay, greenskins, are you finally gone? At least for a minute? They are. Good, good. Now it's about time for us to move back. Oh, mountain attrition. Okay. Well, we're coming back to Grimhold for right now. Clan Angrund, if you don't mind, could you come over here to Karak Norn? If you could weaken them, hey, that would be great. Now, I would like to get into Grimhold. Plus 15 of Heldic Order. I mean, that is quite a bit. Now, Gelt, we can give you some new things, like your golden face mask. Okay, his mask of gold both covers out the results of the explosion that almost ended his life and affords considerable protection to its wearer in battle. Plus 20 to his armor. Hey, not bad. He's a little bit tougher to take on now. And finally, we can upgrade Faldorf. I've been waiting to be able to do that for quite some time. There we go. Let's get our public order back now. Host Festag. Hornhold, I know that you're not happy still, but that is alright. We'll deal with it. Now we can end our turn, but here's all the land that we own now. It doesn't look like much, but man, let me tell you, I fought very hard to get all of that. Okay, so Reichland's still around. We've got Talabecklin. Midland is quite large and powerful. Marienburg. Yeah, not too much has moved yet. Interesting. Really, Sylvania is what I want to get. That's what I want to take over one day. It might not be today, but one day. I know that that corruption is eventually going to creep over here, and then I'll need to take care of it. Okay, 1,600 gold coming in. Not bad. It could always be more, though. What's really interesting right now is that Von Draken would like to succeed, giving me a chance to potentially increase my holdings, though we are in the middle of a war. I would rather lose what I've taken in the mountains and take what she has. Well, Von Draken, it's about time to stop you. I'm not the one causing the war, but I will end it. Okay, we will need to move back. As much as I would like to charge on, let's move back to Faldorf. We have a new war to fight. A very challenging one at that. Here we go. I really do hope the dwarves over here are able to conquer Karak Norn or some other location. And I was able to get a non-aggression pact with the main faction of Wood Elves. So hopefully they'll leave us alone. Alright, let's have a look real quick. Oh no, they're very powerful. They don't want peace at all. See, I could have prevented that war, but I do want their land. If I could take these two towns and not even their capital, that would be ideal. Then I can move over here to go to Karak Azgaraz. Karak Norn will take time to reach, but hopefully we can do that. For now, though, let's prepare for a much more difficult encounter. If anything, I can raise up a new leader. What leader that might be, I'm not too sure yet, but we're going to find out. It's going to be interesting to see who I hire and who gets to fight over here. Sure, my upkeep might go up, but we've got to defend if we can. I could probably recruit a very cheap army. I mean, they do have a small garrison. They're not tier 3 yet. Yeah, we'll think about it. I've got a plan to really let my men stand out in comparison to any other county in the Empire. In one more level, we can pick up Stronger Than Steel, providing +9 to armor for all nearby units. Then for technology, we'll pick up state-issued infantry armor, providing another +15. Our units are going to be quite tanky. But now it's time for a major battle, right over here at Wissenberg. They're being led by Kurt von Hastel, a huntsman general. They have many knights, but that is okay. We'll use tactics, and we're going to win this battle. Let's begin. Now it's time to fight another Imperial faction. It's happened, but there is civil war afoot. We have a statue of Sigmar. He wouldn't be happy to watch this, but then again, he did conquer the tribes to unite all of the Empire. Maybe it's our turn to do so again. Things are fragmented. People are not loyal. These Imperials are not loyal. Here they come now, in all of their regalia, heading into a bloodbath. Gelt gets to quickly fly around and damage all of them. Perched atop the hammer of Sigmar, he brings down his wrath. Let's have a look at our own formation. It's a very important formation. So we're outnumbered by enemy knights. What can we do? We can use the local terrain to our advantage, and structures too. So we're using the buildings to protect our flanks, meaning that we need fewer soldiers to defend each pass. Over here, I've got my Gottwald Wardens. My mortars are behind. We've got our other archers on the left flank and one to the right. Back here, we have more infantry held in reserve. And in the woods, we have more units too. Swords and spears. And here they all come. It's a lot of them. Gelt is distracting a few of them atop Sigmar's crown. These knights are now charging in, attempting to break through. Don't worry, not all of them are charging right through the middle of my formation. Others are trying to circumvent my formation and attack elsewhere. And even though we have a counter to their large units, we still are dealt a lot of damage. Here comes more infantry. And over here too. All that we can do right now is to try to eliminate all their ranged units so that we're not taking more damage. And it's always time for Gelt to use more spells. Like over here, Glittering Robes, giving us more armor. Keep in mind that whenever I'm fighting with Gelt, I'm constantly throwing spells around. We're constantly upgrading units. We're constantly doing all of these things that makes sure that our army is powerful. Sure, it's only temporary, but my God, they get to have a nice buff for a long period of time. So here they are now fighting our line. Imperial on Imperial action. It's a bloodbath for everyone. And it's always time to weaken them. Transmutation of lead, weakening them further. Gelt has killed 41 so far. Let's have a look around the map real quick. Over here, they're trying to circle around with a group of knights that have already been hit by many ranged attacks. Gelt's Golden Steel and Troll Gutters are nearby. A swordsman regiment is moving in. So, and closer to Tabletop, there's groups called regiments and also hordes. These units are larger than your standard unit, but they do cost more. They're very cool, and I can't wait to unlock them myself, because you can do a lot more things tactically when you have more infantrymen to hold the line. You can be a little bit more daring in your formations, and it really does aid the overall flow of combat so very much. It's so darn cool. One group of knights are now leaving. We have more ranged units behind. They've got a huntsman general way back here who will be moving in eventually. These handgunners are moving in too. I'm using my mortar to shell them right now. Gelt is just following wherever he's able to, killing whatever he's able to. And over here on our right flank, we have a lot of enemy knights moving in. Thankfully, we're fighting them in the trees where they get to slow down and we get to weaken them. Gelt is currently fighting in these woods, trying to keep them busy and trying to help out. And you can see that Stein Guards Pride will be shooting at these knights, hopefully getting some kills in. These are skilled men who want to kill Orc, but for now they've got to unify more lands. If we can take a lot of Wissenland, we can gain more power. One geopolitical foe will be eliminated. We still have more things to eliminate over here. Our few units are defending against the horde of many. Here's another Searing Doom, obliterating many men all in one strike, but we're not done yet. A few knights didn't make it through, but thankfully we do have our crossbows. We were able to at least get some hits in melee combat. Back here, the mortars are still working overtime, trying to make sure that we're able to win that fight. Over here is a transmutation of lead, limiting the enemy's attacking potential. So they're weakened even further in the woods right now. They have only 9 melee attack, still more than, let's say, a goblin unit. Stein Guards Pride has 46 kills right now. They're about to flank them and do some more damage. Our spears are still holding up. They've been buffed up by various spells as our foes have been, well, debuffed. If we look at a strategic overview right now, you can see what we're doing. Many of our foes have already broken. It felt like a battle that took me forever, but when I actually look at it, it didn't take that long. They all charged in. They were all, well, destroyed. They're puncturing flanks were not so effective after all. We have one group over here, only 2 kills, but any charge from behind can do quite a bit of damage from knights. Some of my men just went flying, but it looks like we've defeated them. We've won the battle. It was a defensive battle for them, but they did cause a war. I just happened to be the one who's going to end it. We still have many more enemies to fight. Some of them are coming back now. You can see how many we've killed, how few of our own are dead, but how many of theirs are dead too. The Golden Guard did a great job at butchering them. And so the battle is mostly over right now. That Huntsman General, how many kills did he get throughout? Over 50 kills. He actually was able to gain a lot of kills, but the battle's now done, everyone. That was a tough battle, but using that farmland and the woods too, we were able to really limit what they were able to do. They couldn't move very much. So we won. Not to mention, Gelt was throwing spells like crazy. He killed 192 of them. We lost only over 300. I'm not going to kill them. That would be rude. I could raise it down, I could sack it and leave, or I can loot and occupy. No, I'm going to occupy. These are still our people. They were just following the wrong person. Wissenberg will offer me quite a few funds. Now we'll get even more armor. How about that? Okay, stronger than steel. Gelt's command of magic is so strong that he is able to improve the armor of his entire force by alchemical means. Rank 18. Look at that, 50 armor. Our Golden Guard, 100. 50 for the Golden Line. We're going to be much tougher than any other army they have. Oh, Von Draken, she's got a very powerful steam tank. Right, she does command Nuln. Oh, look at that, many commanders too. 2 captains, 1 witch hunter. Funny that you're following the Dark Lady of Nuln. And she too is very powerful. She's at rank 14. Thankfully, she doesn't have her dragon, her Carmine dragon. That would be bad, very bad for me if she did. Okay, so I've taken one location. I've got to combine what I can. There we go. Okay, shields. You'll have to go away for right now because I need more men. I need more men right away. There we go. So we're going to replenish what we can. I'll have to build a slightly bigger army over here, led by General Jean Feurenberg II. We've already met the first one many years ago, and later we would meet his other child, the third. But here's number 2.
To the provinces.
All right, everyone. Leave a like and comment down below if you would like to see more tomorrow. And to all of my patrons, thank you so very much. And until then, oh man, we're going to have a fun one. We've got to fight the Empire. Well, a county of the Empire. And over here, goblins too. It's going to be difficult, but we can do it. I hope. No, we can't.